I'm going to tell a story here. It's about me, it's about my grandpa, and it's important to me. 5 a.m., heading out, and I am wired, tired from a long night without rest while I am waiting for the beep that means it's time to rise and pack my buckets, bags, and knife, my socks and lunch. It's mushroom time, and Grandpa's coming. 5, my eyes are glued with sleep. His eyes are wide. He's up to meet me with his truck. He drives, I sleep, no matter who's behind the wheel for this 2-hour trip. We've matched each other's strength or weakness. He loves to cook, I'm trying to eat less. He's got a truck, me I drive sanely. I run up hills, he waits to tease me, but every month now he gets weaker. Every trip the chance is greater that it's our last time out together. Getting lost, stuck fighting weather, snow, bears, not knowing whether this last time we'll come home rich or I'll come home alone. The weight of more than mushrooms in my mind. Grandpa grew up trapping in the Swan Hills, always cold, still developing mad skills. And along the way he went through school, in one door and out the other. At the age of 4 he lost his mother while she left him with sisters, brothers. He trapped the winters, fished great slave summers, built cabins, houses, roads and bridges, canoed down rivers, hiked with pack dogs, flew into trap lines with both his tiger and his gypsy moth, which are kinds of airplanes. Kissed a moose, ate half a bear, fought fires and ran from wolves, thought it no big deal to walk 40 miles either home from town or through the bush. The truck stops and I hop to the ground and bound to the back, grab my packboard and slide it on. Grandpa creaks his door, steps floor to ground, pulls gloves on hands and stands looking on to the damp brush, the dense crush of willow and mountain ash that shield our trail from the prying eyes of passing pickers. Half-hour hike through the growth of a brushed-in log block, pulling up the black shale bed of a dried-up creek. We scramble through the scrub, up the channel cut by water, running from the gully that divides our patch. We reach the moss, the trees, and stash our bags. A little loss of weight before we attack the bank, looming up in front. Grandpa sits and says, "This is my last day to pick, I guess." And we start climbing. At 26, he dropped by a party, met my grandma, fell so hard he popped the question 4 days later. 2 weeks and axe, he built a home. They spent the winter walking lines through trees, creeks, streams, lakes, heading back each night to a cabin surrounded by stretched skins. A few kids later, they left the prairies, moved to BC, and started logging. 40 years of falling gave him 5 kids, a home, shaking arms and pinned bones, a woodpile, a heart attack, old chainsaws, busted hard hats, a garden, dried fruit, canned food, and us. We roam up and up through Devil's Club field, round trees for the telltale bumps, scan under logs for a glimpse of bright white glowing, growing in a patch of sunlight, hoping to make the first find, our eyes searching to find the mossy dip lined with bright buttons, 2s and 1s, to have the right to yell out, "Got one," to know that I've won bragging rights, taken the first steps to break the bank. 2 hours on, we're back. Pack is full. We found a trove of buttons pushing through, growing in the warm needle bed, or buried near the roots of pine, spruce, the loose moss packed round the hall that we've packed back to our creek bed base of operations. I'm thirsty, forgot my bottle. I've been licking leaves for drops of water, making quick work of clumps of berries. I pushed on hard. Now I chug the jar from my stash pack, pop the lid, lift and toss back a liter of cold liquid, a bite off of Grandpa's dried fruit, then a can of beans, some music to boost me up the hills. Grandpa grabs some water, spills and gets his shakes under control, grabs a sandwich, gives me one mouthful, a ski pole in hand. Boy, he looks old. I left the country for a year to work, but couldn't shake the fear I'd shirked my duty. Would he die before I got my job done? I said, "You up and die, you'll get a beat down." He laughed, refused to promise bunk, said, "Now, just stay safe, we'll pick, I'll be around." So I headed off to Rome, learn new ground. Our food devoured, we start the far side. This one's steeper than the last spot. I've got the power, so here I start right up the cliff along the ridgetop. I've found a lot below the edge here, hanging on a tree, too full to feel fear. I look, then grab a root, then the drop. Sheer joy, a bump. I work my fingers, pop. There's 6, a compact pile of cash, say $50 or more. While I yell, "Hey!" But the sound is lost in the moss, the trees. There's no response. I freeze. I think of the time since I last heard him. It's been a while. Perhaps he's hurt. He's fallen, tripped, and can't get up. I turn and head across to check that ridge I know he's supposed to be on. Well, there's no one here. I case the place, start to jog back to our base, still No one there. I head back up. A nice slow run. Adrenaline is boosting me, slowing time as I fly up ridge, down gully, downed trees where I know he's fallen cold. I hear a voice and I drop towards it. Nothing. Now I'm sprinting forwards, up and up. 10 minutes. Finally, just ahead I see him pale. He's shaking, lost his pole, and I think, boy, does he look glad to see me. I thought you'd fallen, I hear, but it's not my mouth that's speaking up. You broke a leg off that crazy cliff. He stands there shaking, looking 10 years older. I pause and wonder who needs who. He's like 80, sick, and thinks it's me who needs looked after me. It's you, I want to say. Instead, I bite my tongue. I'm glad you found me. I was scared sick. Can we head out? We reach the pickup, drive the buyer, we check the prices, and yes, it's higher than we'd hoped. Our poundage adds up 20, 30. We're getting home with $350 a piece. Long after dark, he drops me off. I stagger out and slide my pack off, stand at the door and turn. Ready at 5? Ready at 5, he says. I guess I'm good for at least once more. We go once more a few times after. Every year, though, for him it's harder. His last time Uncle Randy scouts out the day before, a nice patch without hills to climb or logs to pass. No hidden drops, just a clean, smooth path. Now, Randy drives till they reach the patch, gets out, but Grandpa states that he'll just wait in the truck till Randy's back. But Randy insists, says, just look close by, so Grandpa does, then makes the big find, eyes wide, excitement clear, and the picture we've kept that keeps him near. It's early March now. I'm in Kigali. I hear Grandpa's got the old man's friend, pneumonia. Not to worry, Grandma says, no hurry. 2 days later, I get a call. He's dead. I'm crushed and mad for all the things I planned to tell him, but never got the chance. Not to worry. Your age, you never get sick for long, or you're looking fat if you thought I would have died. I'd ask him about the servant problem, or how's the half-breed situation. He'd say severe, very severe. Well, it's too late now to ask him to put it off, not to cough, to live, take some time off, pack his pails, gloves, and brains, wax papers, bags, beans, and gumboots, and the half-ton and hit the patch. This year, I picked all mushroom season, morels, then pines and chandrails even. Boated down the Yukon River, picked a burn, hiking solo, climbed, sat on top of mountain, pale, shale, a can of beans and dried fruit. 5 years old now, the last of Grandpa's fruit. Sat and told him about the season, shared my life and all my reasons why I'd come this way and how I'd planned to raft down rivers, drive strange highways and build a cabin, write new songs and finish school. Last mouthful gone, I fold the bag, lift on my back, and we continue on.